Jack Fleming Artistry here. I'm about to do a little work on this truck for my friend Zach here. Been doing work for Zach for a while, and I first worked on this truck whenever they started Burnout Wars, which you guys might have seen all over social media and their YouTube channel. One of the things Zach wants done is this sticker removed and then put back with paint but put on both sides. So I'm going to trace it off to start. Alright, we'll get some tape and paper over the top of this here so that we can make a pattern of it so that I can do exactly the number that's there now and then use that pattern to repeat for the other side of the truck. I'm lining my paper up with the top of this panel so that it's easy to line up for the other side. When I'm done, I'll take a measurement of where the numbers are compared to the front of this panel to help me line it up. You'll see. Since it is vinyl, I'm just going to use a pencil to make a rubbing over this. Proof that things you were taught in first grade are useful. I've actually been waiting for an opportunity to show you guys these that I picked up when I was out in California at Coast Airbrush. These are the best plastic razor blades I've ever had, and it's because of this curve. Let me show you how they work. Alright, this one's actually a little chewed up because I've been using it a lot, but that curve allows these to get up underneath a lot easier and not take stuff off in teeny tiny pieces. So it's all kind of coming up in one. Makes it a lot faster. Throw some Sorrel paper underneath it, trace it off, and we should be good to go. Gonna line it up to the top just like I did on the other side. Use my tape measure to make sure it's the same distance as it was from the other side. And then these numbers should be in the exact same place that the other ones are. Then it's just a matter of tracing it off with our Sorrel paper and then painting it. Pretty straightforward. Last time I worked on this truck, I painted "Don't Die" on this bar here. So on that side where we wrote "Don't Die," this side we're gonna write "Don't Cry." I'm gonna do the inside because it's the hardest, just maneuvering around. But I am gonna try to match the color to this color here, so let's go ahead and do that. We need to grab the colors that we know that's closest to. So we got white, imitation gold, maybe a little gray, maybe a little tan. I'm gonna grab a cup and a mixing stick. All right, look at what's here. Tan's actually pretty close. I'm gonna start with white. I know I'm kind of running out of that tan, so maybe this is my opportunity to get rid of it. I actually don't need a whole lot of paint here. I'm probably mixing more than I need. Let's just start with that. This will give us a base to know if we need to go lighter, more yellow, if we need to go gray. So it's pretty close, but when I look at it, it's more yellow. This one's almost out too. I do have a big old can of this, so I'm not real worried about it. Maybe. Getting kind of close, a little lighter. I actually think a little duller, so we're going to lighten it and give it a shot of gray, which again, this one's almost out, but I have another can. Try to use these up. The other thing I'm going to do is add clear to this, so it's not too far off. Let's go a little lighter. I know it dries dark, and it's dark inside the cab. I know too, it actually takes a lot of white to lighten something up. I don't want to waste a whole bunch of white, so hopefully we're close. That's pretty darn close. I'm going to call it close enough and get my clear. All right. I've been using Alpha Clear. Works well with enamels. Actually won a fair amount. The reason I add clear is so that my brush strokes will show up more. So it's a little bit transparent. Sometimes it's a bunch of clear with a little bit of paint. It all depends on how distressed I want it to be. That really is close enough for me. I get people all the time asking me, where's your maul stick? Why aren't you using a maul stick? Today I'm using a maul stick. Here's another favorite tool, the Cyclops light. Showing you this because it's kind of funny. Whenever I did the other side of this, I brought one of these with me and I left it in this truck and it has disappeared and I had to buy another one. I am using my maul stick here because there's absolutely no place to brace my hands in here. Alright, I've got a little bit of baby powder in my hands. This paint is to tack. It's not dry, but it's not wet. I'm just taking the sheen out of it so it looks a little older. You can come back and sand on it and other stuff, but this keeps me from having to. It also makes everybody's car smell baby fresh, so I remembered my light. Alright, here's something else I do when I'm choosing a brush size. I look at how wide it is compared to the widest parts and the thinnest parts and judge whether or not I think I can do those little parts with a big brush. I don't think I can do them with a brush bigger than this one, so I'm going with a 5. Just to keep you guys in the know, the black that I'm using here, again, is mixed with some of that clear. I also put a little bit of imitation gold in it, give it a little bit of a yellowish tint to it, just to try and help it make it look a little bit more aged. Not necessarily trying to match the age of the truck because this kind of stuff does need to be seen for what they do with these, but I want to make sure that it looks like it belongs on there. On another note, I really can't say enough good about how versatile these Tilly Quill brushes from MAC are. I like them a lot. If y'all ever are watching these videos and have questions about materials, please let me know in the comments. I try to always answer those questions if I can, if I see them. Same process for the numbers or the letters inside. Wait till it gets tacky, almost dry, and then we get a little baby powder. Gonna make it look flat. Oh, forgot to hit record, but sometimes I also clean it off real quick with just a little bit of glass cleaner to take some of the baby powder off the top of that. I did decide to go ahead and sand just the top part of these letters to help them look like they're a little bit more worn on the top edge. I'm not a huge fan of sanding on patina trucks, but in this case, the black on this was just a little too opaque, especially for that number 4. I want it to be worn about like this is worn. It's kind of worn through the black a little bit, so I'm giving a little bit of that up here. Maybe some right here. I'm trying to keep my pressure only inside of the number 4. So that don't look too bad. All right, time to clean up and then go shoot some final shots of this truck. all loaded up and ready to go. If you want to go see what else this truck is doing, go check out Burnout Wars on Instagram, BCC Customs, or no, it's BCC Zach on Instagram. I know Zach and Lacey are on YouTube, and then I think Lacey Blair Motorsports, I believe is what it is, on Instagram. They're all over the place. If you like this video, click on one of the other two that pop up. Please hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day.